Hola a todos, los seguidores de Ruidero. Nos encontramos con el gran jazzista Harry Skoler, invitado a México por los organizadores del Encuentro Universitario de Clarinete y por Vandoren. Harry Skoler nos deleitó anoche con una gran noche de jazz, acompañado del trío Eduardo Piastro. Y está aquí para una breve entrevista. Bueno, good afternoon, Harry.
Good afternoon.
So, this is your first time in Mexico?
It is my first time, and I am looking forward to coming back again and again.
That's right. How is our city treating to you?
Oh, I already told my family I'm not coming home. My wife is upset, but my children are thrilled. But everybody seriously has been very open and listening with their heart and with their mind, and it's been like an embracing, which is quite unusual. You know, I don't find that level of intimacy everywhere that I go, and I don't take it for granted, you know, and it brings out things in me that I've not experienced before, both in master classes and in performances. And so far I feel like where's some of this coming from, and where it's coming from is everybody, is all of us together, so that's unusual.
What are your impressions of our country?
The impressions, when I first came here the first day, there were so many things internally that I was thinking about and preparing, and then I was meeting people for the first time and trying to get used to the sights and the architecture, and so I was rather overwhelmed by everything, just trying to take it in. But each day I've had a chance to see more unique, smaller situations, and what I'm finding is that there seems to be a strong thread between tradition and between looking forward, and also being open to somebody's ideas and listening. The listening has really been amazing to me. Everybody that I'm speaking with, not just musicians, the hotel and the restaurant, anybody, the look in the eyes and the listening, it makes me at a loss for words. And you know, I usually can't stop talking, but I'm trying to take it all in. And I'm very thankful that I'm here for a few more days at least, you know, to be able to perform some more and to meet more people and to see more of this country.
That's right. We're very happy to have you here in Mexico.
I'm very grateful.
Right. So last night you have a great concert.
Thank you.
Tell us about it. How was the experience?
Well, the concert, well, first of all, it was the first time in my life I think I've played on a concert stage without a microphone. The acoustics were so beautiful, I needed nothing. And doesn't matter the clarinet or the drums or whoever, the balance seemed to be just perfect. And to play with a group where you're coming in can be a very tricky thing, because you don't know whether you're all going to be on the same page musically, philosophically, even personally. And so when we rehearsed yesterday, the chemistry was so wonderful at Maestro Piastro's home that it was more like, hey, we're getting together again. So it felt like we're just going on stage and having fun, and we knew that there were people there that we had been at the master class, and some people that I knew but had not heard me play yet or heard us play. So it was just an opportunity to be able to see what happens. And it was a good night. It was a great night. I say the stars were lined up just right.
They were. I mean, the energy at the concert was so overwhelming. I just can't stop clapping and screaming after you play and everyone play.
That means the world to me, because because we're all in it together, and if you can do something that people can embrace in their own way, individually and as a group, I won't forget it. I'll never forget last night.
Yes, neither do we. So you have already played with Eduardo Piasto's trio,
Yes.
and when have you already played?
Oh, no, not before.
Not before. This is the first
No,
time.
this is the first time. We rehearsed yesterday.
Yes.
I thought you meant last night we played, but we rehearsed for the first time yesterday. Now, Eduardo did accompany me, or I should say we played together. He didn't accompany, we accompanied each other at the master class on Tuesday. So we had a chance to play together then, and we had been in touch, by writing before I came here, and I'd seen some clips on YouTube where he had played, and I knew that he was remarkable already, and the trio was going to be great. But it feels like I've played with him for years.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So it came so well. You working together. So you have already planned some concerts, right?
Yeah. Well, Eduardo had, yes. So we're playing tonight. I believe. Forgive my poor pronunciation. It's Convite or El Convite?
El Convite.
Yes, El Convite, yeah. Yes. And then we're playing, I don't know the venue, but it's in Puebla tomorrow. Puebla? Yeah.
Sí.
And then there's another, forgive me, but there's another jazz club on Saturday evening. So I'm sorry. I can picture the what it looks like and everything, but I'm looking forward to all of it because instead of it just being in one situation, we play in the master class, we play a concert in a concert hall, we'll play in a jazz club and another jazz club, and in between we get to enjoy each other's company and to see more of Mexico and
Yes.
and eat.
Do you like our food?
Yes, very much so. I love it.
That's right. Right. So in this encuentro, you also are giving clinics and master classes. What can you tell us about this experience? How it has been to work with these young clarinetists?
Well, what's been so different, there's so many things, but I'll try to keep it somewhat concise. For one thing, in addition to the clarinetists, there have been so many musicians. So I've been working with drummers and bass players and guitarists and pianists and saxophone and vocalists and very long master classes compared to what I usually give. Usually it's about 1 hour, sometimes a little bit longer. But for 3 hours, it was a new experience for me. So I had to treat it like I do the music and improvise. And it all depends upon who's there, because we have this opportunity to be together for 3 hours and to work together. And the listening and the playing and the interaction, I don't have words for it. It's beautiful. So many moments. It was just like sparks flying, and the questions were thoughtful and profound, and I had to hope that my experience could help, could answer and do justice to the questions, because such serious players and people, I want to make sure that I'm doing justice to that. Yeah. And I won't say that I'm good. I would never say that. Would not say that, certainly would not say that I'm great. What I would say is that I love what I do, and I've been doing it for a long time. And luckily, I've been given opportunities to be able to share. And I feel that feelings are there. We don't see them, but we know they're there. The music is there. We don't always know when it's coming, but it's ready. And when I'm in a situation, I have to have faith and trust that the people will all be, well, it's not about me. It's about us. It's about us. And I am very, very thankful. In fact, today is Thanksgiving in my home, and it's the first Thanksgiving I've missed. But I have to tell you, aside from missing my family, I'm so thankful for this. This is absolutely as wonderful a Thanksgiving as I could have.
Great. So, in your master classes, you have shared thoughts and a little of your philosophy in music. Mm-hmm. Can you share a little with our audience?
Sure. Well, I feel that a lot is mentioned, which is great, about vocabulary, about learning, chords and understanding swing and listening to artists and learning their solos and the history. And it's all important. But what is also important, and perhaps a little bit different sometimes, are three things. One is that everybody is an individual with their own story to tell. And sometimes I think people might look at the giants of jazz and feel that they were somehow anointed by the great gods of jazz so that they have a valid story to tell. It's just my humble opinion, but I feel we all have a valid story to tell. And so the most important thing is to find out who we are, how we sound, because we're all unique, and to embrace that and not to run from it. And yes, it might be frightening because the mistakes are part of the process of composition in real time. But the mistakes also give us an opportunity to stumble upon music that flows from our subconscious faster than we can hear it. The same way when we speak, we don't think of the words first most of the time. And so the fear is normal because we care about what we're doing and we worry, geez, what happens if something goes wrong? Yes. Well, then it goes wrong. We can't have moments of ecstasy without moments where things don't work. But in the same way that when we read a book that we love and we can't stop turning the pages, turn the pages, turn the pages, turn the pages, we keep moving with the music because embrace the mistakes. They're human, and they can also lead us into new territory. And because it's about a story, the right thing at the right time, that means that whatever those mistakes are, they are now part of your story. So you can't run away from it. You have to listen to it and say, well, where is this bringing me now? And how can I use this to move forward into perhaps new territory, new ideas and feelings? So it's embracing the opportunity and the fear and being thankful that we have something that could happen spontaneously, because that's where all the joy and ecstasy lies, in the surprises. So just to move through the moment, just keep turning the pages of the book, listen, and move forward. It takes courage, but anything that we love, of course, takes courage, because we feel fear, because we care so deeply, and nothing matters except action. And there's always something different. I say, find your sound where you are today. I might have sounded a certain way last night with the reed a certain way in my mouth and my ears hearing the acoustics, but today's a different day. Where's my sound today? So I have to, even warming up, try to find where is my sound now, because right now is not an hour ago. Where's my sound when I'm speaking with you, with all of us now? I have to find it. Yes. For me, that's fun. That's a question, and I like questions. My father taught me that. It's a great motivator.
Questions.
Questions, yes.
Yes. I was hearing you told the guys listening is the most important thing.
Yes.
Listening. And so it's listening to you, I guess.
Yeah, well,
well.
The listening, sometimes we play and we might find 4 measures or a section where, oh, I sound great, this is happening wonderfully. But we weren't listening to what happened before. So it's like reading a book and finding page 25 followed by page 70. What happened? So if we have a taste for something, we don't question it. We say, I have a taste for this. I want this food. And if we hear something and we're listening and we like it and we hear something else, why question it? It means it's the right thing at the right time. So we have to trust, because a lot of it is about listening, because we spend our whole life listening. Why would it be different because we're blowing through a tube of wood or playing a piano? What's the difference? It's still about communication and profound stories, something that's worthwhile enough to hear and to love and to share.
Great.
I think.
Okay. Now, in your life as a musician and jazzist player, which have been your biggest obstacles and which your biggest satisfactions?
I think my biggest obstacles were fear, because instead of looking at something I loved consistently and saying, well, I love to do it. How else would I want to spend my life? Go out and do it. And it's not my job or even the right thing to do to expect to be other people, to expect them to like me. That's not who I am. That's their life. So I used to worry a lot. Oh, geez, nobody likes jazz clarinet. I'll give it up, and I don't have enough money, and I'm not good enough, so I'd quit, and I'd go to school for architecture, and then I'd miss it so much, and I'd come back to music, and I'd say, well, there aren't that many clarinet players out there in the world. Maybe I'll have more opportunity because there aren't as many. So I'd get back into it, and then I'd say, wait a minute, there aren't so many clarinet players because probably nobody likes clarinet players. So I'd stop again. So I keep going back and forth for about 20 years like this. And finally I became so afraid that another 20 years would go by and I would not have just done what I love to do. I became terrified of that. So I decided to record an album and to get it out there on the radio and to start doing with my actions. And so what? If they failed, then I guess it was meant to fail. But it was for certain going to fail if I didn't do anything. So I think that was my biggest obstacle. So about 20 years ago, I confronted that, and then things started to move. Now, you asked what my greatest satisfaction. Well, I met my wife, Joanne. So everybody needs an ultimate inspiration. So she helps me find out who I am. And so since then, whether I'm teaching or playing or writing music, recording, whatever, I feel supported. So I just feel lucky. So I guess my greatest accomplishment isn't mine. I'm just thankful that I've had people love me and help me and support me to find out what it is that I need to do. Because if I can do it for myself, then maybe it might have some kind of good effect on others.
Great. Finally, what would you tell to the young artists and musicians that are starting their professional careers? What advice would you tell them?
I would say, one, keep it in your daily life. We have to eat every day. Sometimes I say to students, who has a pet? And they say, oh, I have a dog. I said, what's your dog's name? And they tell me their dog's name. And I said, well, how many days is it acceptable not to feed your dog? And they look at me like I'm crazy. And I say, exactly. We're still 24-hour creatures. We're very much combined with all the forces of life. The sun and the water and the moon and the earth's revolutions and animals and insects and everything, sounds. And we need to do this as much as we can every day. So it's not about an instrument. We learn the instrument so it won't be a distraction. And the only way we can do that is to spend enough time so that we live in sound, so that there is no difference between voice, breath, sound, hearts. It's all one thing, but we have to live it every day. So I would suggest that. The second thing I would say is to understand that in the history of this music, regardless of if it's jazz or any other art form, so much of it was learned by people hanging out and going and listening to it live and getting up on stage and just doing it with an audience right there, and to try to get that into their life, because we're meant to bring it to other people, and other people are looking for this. They're looking to see people that go through this creative process, and people want to embrace it in their own way. So the only way that can happen is if we go out and take chances. Lots of, well, safe risks, but musical risks, and, go out, volunteer, many people in hospitals that live there, they're in need of music and stories and company, and so I say, get out there and bring it to people, with people, as much as you can. I know there's a lot of YouTube, and it's wonderful. I love it. You can get a lot of recordings and bring them with you, where I couldn't do that when I was younger. But it's also a little bit too easy for us to get closed up in our own world And so we have to make ourselves reach out every chance we can. So I would tell them that. And the third one is that it's not something that is really a choice. It's something that demands respect. And what I'm talking about is our own valid story as people, as artists, as people that have our own thing happening. That demands to be acknowledged. So I don't think it's about a choice. I think it's about respecting that in all of us. Don't wait. Don't think that you have to be 40 years old and discovered by a record company or something like this to be valid. You're valid now. You have everything from your life, and it moves forward. You keep turning the pages of the book. Enjoy it. Move forward, move forward, move forward. And respect your life as something that is valid with your own individual message. You embrace that and you hold it close and don't let anybody take that away, not even yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skoler. It has been a real honor to be
my pleasure.
with
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. Agradecemos al Encuentro Universitario de Clarinete 2014 y a sus organizadores Fernando Domínguez e Ismael Sánchez por hacer posible esta entrevista y los conciertos de esta semana. Nos despedimos.